Good morning, class. I wanted to create a quick video discussing the Module 9 final project. For the final project, you will be creating a final paper. This paper is going to be a culmination of all 3 milestone assignments, as well as a new section on behavioral competencies. The behavioral competencies will be very similar to the ones that we've discussed throughout the term within the SHRM competency model. For the final paper, I will be providing you with a template. You can access this template in 2 different areas. The first is going to be the Module 9 announcement. It will be highlighted in red. The other way to access the template is through your SNHU email. I will be sending you an email with the template attached so that you have it there as well. With the final paper template, there are some sections that I would like to highlight and go over. So the first section is going to be the title page. We need to make sure that we have a title page for the final project. You will also want to make sure that you have an introduction section. So this should be a quick 1 to 2 paragraph with an attention opener, as well as establishing the importance of the topics that we're going to discuss within the paper. You will want to make sure that you remove any other introductions that you've had within the different milestone papers as well. The next 3 sections are going to be the exact same sections that you've created for milestone 1, milestone 2, and milestone 3. There are a couple things that I'd like to make sure I highlight. The first is going to be my notes in red. Please make sure that you are reading these notes and incorporating them into each of the subsections. It's important to make sure that you are including all of the elements that I'm asking for. Some of the elements within each section will have articles that are referenced. It is important that you're incorporating these articles into those sections. At a minimum, I would expect for you to have these articles referenced, but I would like for you to go above and beyond that and do your own research and incorporate your own articles to support your discussion and support the discussion that you're having within each of the subsections. I am not going to go over each of the areas as we've already gone over those throughout the term in each of the milestone assignments. But one thing that I would like to point out is that you should also be going back to the rubrics that I have graded and making sure that you're incorporating the feedback that I have given there into each of the subsections. The next area I do want to make sure we discuss is the new section, which is the behavioral competencies. So this is going to be the behavioral competencies as well as the HR expertise areas that we've looked at throughout the SHRM competency model discussions. For each subsection, we have paired together one behavioral competency and one HR expertise. So there are 3 subsections for each of these. For each one, I have highlighted the behavioral competency that you should be discussing as well as the HR expertise that you should be discussing. I've also included an example. This example is to help guide you in creating your initiative that you would like to discuss for each section. So for example, the first element that we would be discussing is the behavioral competency of the business cluster and the HR expertise of the people knowledge domain. So you would create an HR initiative that you feel is important in the people knowledgement domain. And I've given the example of creating a total rewards package that fit the top talent that you want to retain within the company. You'll want to explain further in detail how and why this is important. And then you'll start discussing the business cluster competencies that would be best suited to achieve the initiative. So for example, I have given the critical evaluation as a key competency for the HR professional to have in order to evaluate all of the criteria that makes up the total rewards package. I would then go in and explain further in detail how and why this is important. So you'll do this for each of the first 3 subsections. And then the last one is going to be the strategic HR initiatives. So in this section, you will look at 1 to 2 initiatives that focus across all of the behavioral competencies. So I've given the example of mergers and acquisitions because it really does incorporate all of the initiatives that we look at as we're merging companies or we're acquiring new companies and putting them into the new company. You would then explain why and how it spans across all of the competencies. The last element is going to be the conclusion. So this is just going to sum up your thoughts on the topics and reinforce the most important points of your paper. This should be a 1 to 2 paragraph conclusion. The last page is going to be your reference section. So this is where you're highlighting all of the different in-text references that you've made throughout the paper. Please make sure if you have cited an in-text reference that you are also citing it within the last reference page. This page should be in alphabetical order. It should also be in APA format. If you have any questions as you're creating your final paper, please don't hesitate to put those questions either in the general questions section in the discussion board, or you're more than welcome to email me with any questions that you have, and I'll be happy to answer those. Best of luck with your paper. Thank you.